You're born in the cozy darkness of a wolf den tucked beneath a fallen tree. It's damp, a bit smelly and cramped, but hey, free housing. Your mother is the world's comfiest pillow, and you've got a few siblings you can't see or hear yet because, surprise, you're blind and deaf at birth. If someone told you there's a wide world out there with squirrels, moose, and the occasional fast food dumpster, more on that later, you wouldn't believe them. After roughly 2 weeks, your eyes pop open and your ears finally clue in that, yes indeed, the world is bigger than your mother's tail. You discover your siblings, all equally adorable balls of fluff with mini howls that sound like squeaky toys. The den is your tiny kingdom, and your main pursuits are drinking mother's milk and snoozing. Could life get any better? Absolutely not. Then reality sets in. Mum starts leaving more often to help the pack hunt. When she returns, there's a faint whiff of something. It's the fresh scent of a deer or maybe a rabbit, but all you care about is that it's not delivered right to your mouth. Hello? Room service? Not happening. You keep nibbling your siblings' ears to pass the time. This is your entire entertainment catalogue until you're old enough to step outside. Eventually, you and the other pups stumble out of the den, blinking at the bright sunlight as if you're backstage at a rock concert. The forest is huge, the air crisp, and the smells? Overwhelming. Tree bark, leaves, squirrels. And did Dad just drop a fresh poop over there? Gross, but strangely fascinating. Mum and Dad aren't alone, there's a whole pack of wolves. They greet you with tail wags, muzzle sniffs, and that one crotchety elder who looks at you like, another pup to babysit? Great, but overall it's a warm welcome, like a family reunion with less awkward small talk and more sniffing butts. Dad is the alpha male, basically the pack's CEO. Mom is the alpha female, co-CEO if you will. But the rest have roles: two betas, enforcers, the babysitters who keep you out of trouble, and the omegas who get blamed for everything. Knocked over a bone pile? Definitely the omega's fault. When the pack heads out for a hunt, you and the other pups stay behind in the daycare, supervised by a designated adult who's probably rethinking their life choices. You practice your future predator skills by pouncing on each other and wrestling over twigs. It's like Toddler Fight Club minus Brad Pitt. Weeks turn into months. You're taller, your paws aren't so wobbly, and you can actually maintain a somewhat fierce growl. Puberty hits, your puppy fluff is shedding, and you're trying to figure out just how to impress the opposite sex with your brand new howling voice. Spoiler alert, it cracks a lot. You start tagging along on hunts, mostly to watch and learn. Dad and the older wolves take down a deer while you attempt to look useful, perhaps by snapping at its ankles or yipping loudly to distract it. In reality, you're about as intimidating as a wet sock, but hey, it's a start. Hunting isn't the only skill you learn. Navigating territory boundaries is huge. The pack marks its range by leaving, well, calling cards. When you see your father raising his leg near a tree, that's basically him proclaiming, "This is our hood, stay out or I'll bite your tail off." One day you cross a borderline and come face to face with another pack. Tensions rise. There's a lot of growling and ear flattening. You realize that maybe picking a fight with 10 strangers isn't the best idea. Thankfully, your alpha parents back you up with a menacing snarl that says, "Scram!" The rivals do, leaving you feeling both relieved and slightly disappointed you didn't get to test your growing chompers. Independence and packing. Time flies, you're approaching your first birthday. You're bigger, stronger, and your teenage rebellious streak is in full swing. You and a couple of siblings start wondering, what's out there beyond the pack's territory? Curiosity itches at you like fleas. One night, under a bright moon, you slip away for a midnight stroll. Cue the adventure montage. You chase rabbits, you bark at raccoons, though they hiss back, which is terrifying, and you nearly get lost before following the echo of the pack's howl. Returning at dawn, you're greeted by Dad's stern glare. You're the reason he got no sleep. Enjoy the lecture, pup. As time passes, you begin to settle into a role within the pack. Maybe you're shaping up to be a fantastic hunter, quick on your paws and sharper than a tack. Or you might be the caregiver type, always babysitting the younger pups so the adults can go hunt. You could also be the moody teenager who constantly challenges authority. Someone's got to keep the alpha on his toes, right? Either way, you and your siblings figure out how to coordinate hunts like a well-oiled machine. The hush-hush approach, the perfect ambush, the strategic chase. Once you get that first successful kill, it's exhilarating. You might even get the first bite, if the alpha lets you. Depending on where your pack roams, you might encounter strange, hairless creatures walking on two legs. They carry odd sticks or drive noisy contraptions. You're not sure if they're friend or foe, but Dad taught you to be wary. Sometimes these creatures leave behind scraps of food, delicious but definitely suspicious. You watch from the tree line as they set up camps, start fires, and occasionally shout at each other in weird yips. You sense they could be dangerous. They have a certain unpredictability. You decide it's best to keep your distance and return to pack life, though the smell of leftover burgers in the trash is admittedly tempting. The seasons change, bringing new challenges. Harsh winters can thin out prey, meaning the pack must roam farther. Competition with other packs and even bigger predators, like bears and mountain lions, heats up. Each year you lose a few pack members to old age, injuries, or random misfortunes, but new pups are always born, yipping and stumbling around just like you once did. You become a mentor, showing them how to pounce, when to remain silent, and how to differentiate a moose from a particularly large boulder tougher than you'd think in a blizzard. One day Dad's muzzle starts showing white hairs and he's slower on the hunts. The torch of leadership passes, maybe to your older sibling, or maybe, gasp, to you. Suddenly, you're the one calling the shots, deciding when to move territory, which rival pack to confront, and who gets the biggest hunk of caribou. You handle the conflicts, the celebrations, and the day-to-day drama. Who chewed up the alpha's sleeping spot? It's not all glory, it's a lot of responsibility, but you recall your own youth, how Dad led with cunning and strength, and you try to do the same. Seasons and years slip by. You watch pups grow into full-fledged wolves, some departing to form new packs of their own. You've got a few nicks and scars, maybe a gimpy leg from a tussle with a bull elk. Your muzzle is frosted with age, but you still throw back your head and howl under the moon, reminding the forest and yourself that you're still here, still part of this grand, untamed wilderness.